All right. Let me just check and make sure this is working smoothly here. All right, we should be good. So um so this is not going to be much of a long stream tonight. I'm hoping probably about an hour I got, and that'll be it for tonight, right? So this is going to be more so of a monologue, right? Hey, look, me talking and you listening. Just like I used to watch this dude. What's this cat? Um, Yeah, this dude D McClung, right? This dude on YouTube named D McClung, and he always would say at the beginning of his videos, this is a monologue, right? I'm talking and you're listening, right? So that's what I'm doing here. Oh, look at that. We already got some people in here. Hey, how you doing, Bible Defender? Hope you're doing well. Um, Ian, how you doing, man? We got Galapagos. Hey, what's up, Galapagos? Hope you're doing well, man. Um, I don't think this is gonna be an open panel tonight though, because I am limited with the amount of time I have. So I think as I said, it's just gonna be a monologue tonight, right? Me talking, you listening. But I will address the comments. So if there's any, question or comment that anybody wants to put up, you're welcome to put it in the comments, and I will, I'll bring it up. This brother said he's doing good. Hey, you can't complain, man. Shit, I was laughing earlier. Me and Shrek, right, when Shrek was still around, there was this one dude we talked to. I believe this guy's YouTube channel was called Tony, It's Time to Wake Up, right? So this guy's name was Tony. And it was funny. I was watching one of his streams, and the dude, was usually sitting on there, laughing, got music playing in the background. But then this one time, the music stopped, and, he got all serious for a couple seconds and was like, hey, look, I'm in the worst, economic position of my life right now. Right. Well, it's funny, the dude's on stream, just partying around, doing stupid shit. But, for 5 seconds, he stopped and got real serious, right? Talking about, his financial situation. It was like, hey, look, I'm in the worst financial position I ever been in before. So it's like, hey, well, join the club, man. All of us out here, are struggling. I mean, shit, the struggle is real out here, man. Like that's not even a damn joke at this point. Hell, like I just pre-recorded a video like 10 minutes before I just went live. I did a whole 30-minute rant about how, bad the economy is, Gen Z and work in general, right? Which that's not uploaded yet, obviously, since I just recorded it. But but yeah, and also, do excuse me if I sound a little bit tired because I did just join free live streams within the last 2 hours. And interesting conversation. I had a conversation with the apostle of Ace Theo. Ace Theo is that dude who believes that in universalism, right? That every human on earth will be saved. So I just talked to his right hand man, um, Greg, right? This guy named Greg. The dude's like an old, crab walker. Dude, dude's probably in his, late 70s or something like that. Dude looks like a damn, goblin on there. And I don't mean to be disrespectful to the guy or nothing, but just giving a depiction of him that you'll know what I'm talking about if you see this dude like on like a thumbnail of a video, right? This guy Greg, when you go over to Ace's channel, it was an interesting conversation. And, I got to give Greg credit, though, because he's actually able to have a relatively respectful conversation compared to his overlord, Ace Theo. But still, he got daggered, though, right? I mean, it's easy work, easy peasy work to prove that, that universalism is clearly incorrect. It's clearly incorrect that, like, it's a very childish way to read the Bible, to think that, oh, well, it says he died for all, so that means all. It's like, okay, well, what about all these 20 other examples where the word all is used? Well, it has clear context. Like even I believe it's in John. I believe it might be John 12:19, if I'm not mistaken, but it says that the whole world went after Christ, right? All the world followed after him. Clearly, in the context, it's not talking about the entire world because the world can have context. Like even me and Greg agreed that in modern Western culture, we use the word world loosely. Like say for instance, there's a theme park called Disney World, theme park called Universal Studios, a Sea World. Um, again, there's so many other instances where the word world is used, but it clearly doesn't mean the entire world, right? So at least me and Greg could come to an agreement on that. But y'all are gonna have to wait to watch the entire conversation, probably maybe a week or two. Oh, it's pronounced Ian. My apology. Brother said, "Rest in peace, good servant." It's funny you bring up good servant because I kid you not, I was just on a stream, talking to a brand new person I'd never seen before, and there was a person who went in the comment section in the live chat, and they were saying, "ETT, I remember you. You used to be on. I remember you talked to Steven." It took me a second. Who do you mean, Steven? And I was like, "Oh, you're talking about um, good servant, or as Shereg would call him, right? Good serpent." Which I didn't I don't call him good serpent because I think he was actually a kind dude, right? Even though we both had different theological understanding of the scriptures, he was very respectable with me. In fact, me and him exchanged both of our personal phone numbers to each other, and me and him actually called each other outside of YouTube, and we've had a long conversation together. Hell, I was at the park one day, and you know what? I thought to myself, you know what? Let me just call a Steven, right? Let's give a Steven a call and see what he's up to. Maybe we can work out a discussion for a stream or whatever. So I called the dude up, and we had like an hour and a half conversation just on the phone, the two of us. What shows, hey, look, a Hebrew Israelite and a Christian can get along in a conversation. So yeah, rest in peace to good servant. He was a good dude. Stephen was a good guy, and he died pretty young, unfortunately. One thing I will say, earlier today I watched a video that was put up by a YouTube channel called God Logic Apologetics or something like that. And it's a big channel. They got like 200,000 subscribers on this channel. And he ran up on GMS when they were out like on the street corner. Apparently he did it like multiple times. But he ran up on them a few days ago and just uploaded it today. And I gotta say this though, the GMS guys, they should have had a conversation with him. The GMS guys, they were like, "Hey, we don't want to talk. Get out of here. Demon and all that." It's like, guys, you do realize the guy is coming out here just wanting to have a conversation. I mean, your cameras are rolling, his camera was rolling. There's going to be thousands, maybe even tens of thousands of people who watch this. Like, wouldn't you attempt to try to make the Israelites look respectable, that we can actually have a conversation without acting like a bunch of little 3-year-olds? Like literally these guys, and again, I'm not bashing on GMS or nothing, but I'm just saying, these particular camp that was out there, they made themselves look completely pathetic when a theologian scholar rolled up on them on the streets. Like literally, these guys wouldn't even take one question respectfully and even answer. They just pretended the guy wasn't there and tried to continue on. Hey, the Bible says, and even the Christian brought this up. He was slick. He brought up the Bible says in 1 Peter 3:15, "Be ready always to give an answer unto a man who asks you the reason of your faith or your belief." So it's like, why would y'all not be able to do that? Like we've seen For those of us who've been in the truth for a number of years, I've seen Vocab Malone go down to the apostles of GMS and have a respectful conversation. Usually nowadays it's, a bunch of name calling and whatnot, but I've seen it before. I've seen Vocab go down there with his crew and they had a respectful conversation with the apostles. I believe this happened in like 2019. So we're talking like, 5 years ago. Well, Ian, you're right on that, but every generation is stupid. Hell, like I've seen people that are in their late 40s or 50s get asked basic questions about American history. Like, say, for instance, there's this dude on YouTube I watched named Mark Dice. And if you watch some of his older videos from like, 5, 10 years ago, he used to go out on the street and actually dialogue with random people about, asking them basic questions to see how smart they are. And a lot of these people, they got very basic questions wrong. Like, say, for instance, you ask how many states make up America. Some guy was like, oh, it's like 25 states. One guy said it's like 67. And again, these are people in their late 40s, some of them in their 30s. It's like, y'all should know this. Then he asked, well, what country did America win its independence from? 9 out of 10 people didn't know that somehow. What year was America founded? Literally 15 out of 20 people did not know the answer to that question. Then they went out on July 4th and asked people, well, why do we celebrate today? Like, what is the history behind today? I kid you not, literally, again, 15 out of 20 people didn't know the answer to that question. So it's not just like one generation, to point fingers at. All generations, it seems, have a clear brain rot. Ian asked, a good servant have a 916 area code phone number? Well, I'm not going to give his personal information. Well, even though he's dead now, obviously, but I'm not going to give out any personal information. And also, I do not have his phone number anymore because I have a completely different phone now, right? So, I don't have it anymore because, well, obviously he's dead, right? So you don't have his phone anymore. And then I also switched phones, so I didn't think to bring the number over to this phone because, the guy is no longer with us. You know what I'm saying? So it wouldn't make sense for me to bring his number. But again, I'm not going to put anything out there on that man because, the people I give my phone number to, which there's maybe 5 people that, I consider close friends of mine who have my personal phone number, right? I don't hand that out loosely. I only hand it out to literally like 5 people that I know. Well, from YouTube, that is. Galapagos said, that was sad. Hope he's in a better place. Yeah, yeah, Steven. Hey, look, Steven is at rest right now, right? Steven, he's at complete peace right now. Steven's going through no hardship. Just like everybody else who passed away, right? There's no such thing as torment for the dead. The Bible says in Job, the 3rd chapter, when Job, he was going through a hard time in life and was like, you know what, I wish I, didn't live anymore, and wish that he would have died from when he was in his mother's womb. Read the whole chapter. And then he describes what happens to the spirit when it leaves the body. It says, they're the wicked, they cease from troubling. They don't hear the voice of the oppressor. The small and the great are there. They're the wicked, are they cease from their troubling. They're the weary, they find rest. Right? The great and the small are there. Again, read the whole chapter. He describes the spiritual realm, right? Where you go when you depart from the body. Again, nobody's in torment there. There's peace. Hell, like remember when Christ was on the cross, he told the thief next to him, today you'll be with me in paradise. He didn't mean that they were gonna like go walk around in heaven that day when they died. He meant that they were both gonna rest together in peace. That's a whole nother, subject there. which ironically enough, touched on that just an hour ago with what's this cat? Greg. Hey, how you doing? Nah, Ian. Hell, I'm not about that lifestyle, man. I'm about following God's law, statutes, and His commandments, man. Hell, maybe you got the wrong channel. Hey, maybe you want to go subscribe to the Sakari, man, because I hear it on the Passover they go to strip clubs, right? So maybe you might want to go become a member of the Sakari. I'm just messing with you. This brother said, I asked an older Catholic lady at work, where was Jesus born? She said, Italy, lol. Yeah, that's funny, man. Oh, man. You know, that's pretty funny. Shit, you know what I find funny? You know, it shows how simple-minded some people are. Like, you know, sometimes the Bible is not always literal. Like, I'll give you an example. The Bible says in Deuteronomy 28:68 that he'll bring us into Egypt again with ships. Now, that Egypt there, that's not referring to ancient Egypt because we find out in Revelation 11:8 that there's a new city that's spiritually called Sodom and Egypt, right? So just because it calls it Egypt, that doesn't mean it's ancient Egypt. Let me give you an example. There's literally a town I know in the state I'm in called Nazareth. Now, does that mean that Christ was born there? No, just because it has the name Nazareth, right? So, again, it shows you just because a town here and across the world have the same name, it doesn't mean that they're the same. Like, I'll give you an example. Did you know that in America, there's a little China? There's also a little Italy over here too. Shit, there's probably a little Mexico over here too. Like towns name that, right? Or buildings name that. You know, so it just shows a lot of people are just unskillful, you know, reading the Bible. Like I had somebody the other day, they tried to point something out and they were saying, you know, Revelation 11:8, it says, you know, that great city where our Lord was crucified. You know, oh, that's Jerusalem, right? Christ was crucified in Jerusalem, which I told them, yes, technically Christ was crucified physically in Jerusalem. However, the context of the verse is spiritually, right? I'll say it again. That great city, spiritually called Sodom and Egypt, where also our Lord was crucified. So Christ was physically crucified in Jerusalem, but he spiritually is being crucified every single day over here in the West, specifically speaking of the United States, right? They not physically, but metaphorically and symbolically crucify Christ every day over here. Again, it's everywhere. There's literally churches out here in this country that fly pride flags. That's a spiritual crucifixion of Christ right there. Hell, and not only that, when you go inside some of these churches, a lot of them they have a cross up in the church with Christ nailed to it as well. Hell, like I remember I seen this one church, man. They literally put a wooden cross up and then they got like a plastic Jesus and they literally like nailed him. They got a damn hammer and nails out and literally nailed the plastic Jesus to the cross and then they like got some damn markers and like drew some blood coming from his hands and from his feet. Again, true story. So again, you know, Christ is spiritually being crucified over here. And then what's another way they crucify him? I'll give an example. The president of the United States, when he's sworn into office, he must swear an oath on the Bible. But then they throw the Bible to the side and they make up their own guidelines and, you know, rules and regulations. They're spitting on Christ. right? They'll claim America is a God-fearing nation, but then they don't abide by what God said. They go by made-up things that they declare. And then all these churches, they are depicting Christ, Son of God, as some type of, hippie that loves everybody, got long flowing hair like a woman, and loves everybody, which that can't be further from the truth according to the Bible. So again, this handful of examples I'm giving you to demonstrate how Christ is spiritually being crucified every single day over in this country. Let me see what's going on in the comments. Ian asked, have you heard about Egypt and Assyria and Israel being in the Americas? It's funny you say that because I actually heard that Deacon Sakari, or as the dude is now calling himself, right, Priest Taka is what he calls himself. Shit, at least he didn't call himself the chief high priest like Alazar did, like 3 years ago. Apparently, he recently did a debate, which he has to wait to upload it because that was like the agreement. But he did a debate with this dude that wrote the book. It was either a book or a movie. It was called From Hebrews to Negroes or something like that. Right? Again, you can look it up and it will show you some information about the guy. But the dude who made that book or movie, he believes that like the real Israel is like located in like America, right? That's like the real land of Israel was somewhere over in America, which that's clearly just garbage to believe that. But I look forward to that discussion, right? Which would probably be out in like 2 or 3 weeks because they had to do a couple restrictions due to how popular the guy is. So they had to like sell tickets for people to actually show up for the conversation in real time. But then those of us who want to watch it for free, we have to wait like 2 or 3 weeks. So that's going to be a good discussion. I look forward to watching that because Deacon's going to mop the floor with that dude. It's laughable. How the hell could the nation of Israel, the true land of Israel, be located in America? That's just not true. I mean, it's ridiculous. The land of Israel over there, where the 1940, what is it, 1948ers, where they're at, that's the true land of Israel. I mean, the evidence is overwhelming that that's the true land that the Bible talks about. Again, the people are imposters over there. Those are, as racist Mario would say, those are pretendos, right? They're pretenders, pretendos, but the land over there is the true land, but the people are fake. Let me see. Bear with me for a second. Galapagos said, I met some born again Christians, cool people, but it pains me to hear them say they are happy to be saved, etc. They are going to be disappointed when they are still here as Jacob's trouble begins. Yeah, that's a great point you make, man, because, everywhere you see people talk about, oh, I know I'm saved. Like literally, before I did this stream, I was on another stream and the dude told me, yeah, man, like I know that I'm saved, right? I know what I'm secure forever, right? So it shows, these people think that they've been secured and are saved just because they say a couple magic words and believe for maybe a couple weeks or whatever. It's very bizarre. The Bible says, Matthew 24:13, he who endures to the end is the same who shall be saved. It doesn't say he who believes on Christ for 5 minutes is saved forever, or as these dummies, these freak racers like Jack Smack 77, which I call him Jackass. He's Jack the Ass. That dummy said in one of his videos that all you have to do is believe for a microsecond on Jesus and then you're saved forever. It's very bizarre. But yeah, going back to what Galapagos said, yeah, a lot of people are going to be very disappointed on that day. And Christ even addressed this. He said, Matthew 7, start at 21. He said, "In that day, there's going to be many people who say, 'Lord, Lord, did we not do all these wonderful things in your name?' And Christ's going to tell him, 'Hey, I never knew you.' And then he's going to reject them into punishment." It's like, wait a second, but they believed, right? So why the hell are they getting rejected? Or another great one, another hard hitter I always bring up is Matthew 25:31. Two groups of believers. The one group had works with their faith, the other group didn't. So God rejected the one group. Hey, they believed, though. A lot of those people thought that they were good because they believed. But guess what? They got rejected. So, yeah, man, it's sad, but a lot of people out here are going to get disappointed very soon. And what's up with this whole rapture thing? Like, notice it was just September not too long ago. And I remember for the last 9 years now, everybody was saying, "Oh, September 23rd, something's going to happen on September 23rd." Either they said it was going to be like this whole, Hydron collider at CERN. They're going to open up some portal. Other people said the rapture would happen. Hell, even Claire, right? Still small voice was going around saying that, right? Among these other Christian channels on YouTube, right? Oh, the rapture, could happen this month for September 23rd. Again, I've seen it all, right? Literally 9 years in a row, people come on the internet and say that September 23rd, something big is going to happen. Hell, just like with this whole past eclipse from this year, right? Something's gonna happen. What was that? April the 8th or something like that. I forget the exact date off the top of the head. Somebody can correct me, but they were like, "Oh, something big's gonna happen this day," and then lo and behold, as we said, nothing was gonna happen. Again, it's like you think people would learn their lesson about just putting dates on things out here. It's like Christ said that he doesn't know the day or the hour, neither did the angel know the day or the hour that he's coming back. He said the Father knows, but he doesn't know, the angels don't know, neither does any man know. So how the hell is Christ going to say he and the angels don't know, but some little YouTuber on the internet figured out what day was going to happen? Like what sense does that make? Again, it's ridiculous. Like I always quote this thing from the 1900s. I believe it happened in the 30s, if I'm not mistaken. It was called the miracle of the sun. And what happened was all these people gathered together on a particular day that they thought the rapture was going to happen. And leading up to this, people literally sold their homes, they sold all their possessions, they emptied their bank accounts because they all were convinced the rapture was going to happen that day and Christ was going to take them all to heaven. And lo and behold, it didn't happen. So all those people went home literally empty-handed, hell, with no vehicle, no bike, no bank account funds, literally no home. But hey, that's a lesson right there, right? Learn from that. Learn from those people's mistake. And what was the mistake they did? They acted foolish. They believed something somebody made up and then they just went along with it. Hey, the Bible clearly warns nobody knows that day and that hour. So don't believe anybody who tells you they know because they don't know. They're lying. Again, it's very bizarre. And you know what I find funny? Um, the statistic is there's 2,600,000,000 people on earth who claim to be Christian. I would bet all the money I have, which is only like $54, but still all the money I have, I would bet that 500,000,000 plus people in there believe it they are saved. Hell, and then if you ask them, "Well, what are you saved from?" I guarantee you half of those people wouldn't even know an answer. It's like, well, you can't say you're saved from hell because, well, you never been to hell, right? So how the hell were you saved from it? Pardon the pun. But how the hell were you saved from hell if you never been to hell? So that's the cut. Let's keep moving on. But that was a good point you make, Galapagos. Let me see real quick. Yeah, I understand what you're saying, defender of the truth. right? That's why they brought him to some of the Roman leaders, but he was physically crucified in Jerusalem. But of course, he was brought before some, governors they had to do with Rome. His brother said, "Why can't Jesus have long hair?" Well, it says in the law that it's a shame for a man to have long flowing hair like a woman. In fact, matter of fact, the Bible says Christ had short hair, right? You read Revelation 1:14, right? It says his hair was whitish and wool-like texture. His brother said, "Man, that guy Jesse Lee Peterson, he's a pastor, but don't know the scriptures at all. Been listening to his morning show lately." Yeah, I can't comment on the dude in all fairness because I never listened to any of his teachings. The name rings a bell. I've heard the name before, but I don't watch the dude, so I can't comment on it. And that's a whole nother thing, man. There's so many people, it seems like, on YouTube that are popping up. You can't listen to everybody. Because what you're gonna do, you're gonna turn into like these IUIC guys, right? 1 minute they'll be like, "Oh, well, there's a hell," right? There's a hell. 1 minute they'll be like, "Well, we don't know God's name." 1 minute they'll be like, uh, "Oh, you're in the new covenant, not in the new covenant." Again, it's like a lot of these guys over the months they change their doctrine up. But hell, somebody complimented me recently, or like, "Hey, ETT, I've been watching you since the Rock Upon Him and Troll days." And hey, I give you credit because you've been consistent. Hey, all those other guys they changed and fell away, but you remained loyal to what you teach. Hey, I respected the comment. Because at least some people can respect the effort that we put in. And it's a lot of people don't do that. I've said before, I've officially this month I've been in the truth for 10 years now. 10 years. That's a decent amount of time, if I could say so for myself. Which I'll do a stream on that another day. I'm not gonna, I had a whole lot of stuff I want to talk about on that stream, so it's not gonna be tonight. So I'll save some of that. Ian said, "Do you know Joseph LOP? He's going to jail." Um, I know I know LOP. That brother's in the Czech Republic, right? I haven't talked to the dude in a long time, which, to be honest, one of these guys in the comments is probably LOP, just making shit. That brother probably got drunk and went on one of his damn stock accounts and tried to put up a couple comments, right? Shit, I can see for some of y'all like a damn Ziploc bag, man. Right? It's not difficult to see through. Bro said, "Dang, bro, so you knew you were an Israelite since 12?" Yes. Well, here's the thing, right? I wouldn't say that you're in the truth just when you figure out you're an Israelite, because there's a lot of people in the world who don't know what they're Israelites that are considered to be in some type of truth. Like, I'll give you an example. I would consider myself to be in the truth when I was a Seventh-day Adventist. Why? Because I was diligent and understood the scriptures, such as I understood America's Babylon, understood the MOTB was the chip, understood that salvation wasn't for all, understand God has favorites, understand, all these different things. Before I even knew that there were people calling themselves Hebrew Israelites. So I was in the truth before I even called myself an Israelite. Because a lot of people have this deception where they think, just because you call yourself an Israelite, that magically means that you figured everything out. Like some of these camps out here is a good example. They think just because they call themselves an Israelite and have like, the stick with them, the 12 tribes chart, that they like figure it out and they all have the answers for everything now. But yet, half of these dummies don't know that the earth is stationary and doesn't move, and that the Bible teaches the sun and the moon revolve over our heads. So again, just because you call yourself an Israelite, that doesn't mean that you figured everything out. So yeah, I've been in the truth for 10 years, but I've been an Israelite for, I want to say 8 years, but I was still technically in the truth beforehand. Uh, yeah, that brother made a good point. Brother said a fact Seventh-day Adventist is a good starting point. They just go off calling a mark a Sunday a worship, but it's the the brother said the Dorito chip. I know what he's talking about. Got to use co-language on here. But yeah, let me comment this real quick on the Seventh-day Adventist. Right, out of all the Christian denominations, I think the closest to the truth. And keep in mind, I did not say they had the truth, but I said the closest to it would be the SDA Church. They teach a lot of things correct, and then they also teach a lot of things wrong. I'll give you a couple they teach right. They teach that we're supposed to follow the dietary laws, whereas almost every other church teaches we're not supposed to. They teach that let's see, what else do they teach? Oh, they teach God's laws in general were not done away with, whereas most other churches teach that they were done away with. And I'm sure there's a handful of others I could bring up, but not off the top of the dome. But but yeah, there's certainly a lot of errors they have as well, such as they teach that the mystery Babylon is the Roman Catholic Church, which is clearly stupid, just clearly stupid. And then they also teach that the mark is Sunday worship, which is absolutely false because, first of all, a lot of people don't know this, but in the 1800s, there was something called the Blue Laws. Look this up on Wikipedia, fact check what I'm saying. And the Blue Laws were restrictions about what you can and cannot do on a Sunday. Like, say, for instance, certain businesses could not operate on Sunday, right? You would have to like stay home. You couldn't go out and work. You couldn't go to certain stores on Sunday. Look it up. But the Blue Laws is what it's called. So, wait a second. If the mark was worship on Sunday, then that already came and went. That prophecy already happened then, according to these guys. It can't be something in the future because the blue laws already happened like 100 years ago or whatever. Again, you can look this up, but this is historical fact. So if, for hypothetical argument, if that was the mark, then it already came and went. So we're after that time then by the logic. If they were right, which they're clearly not right. But, a lot of them don't know about that those things existed. Somebody asked a question about Jay. I'll just be real, man. Right? I think Jay is a good buddy of mine, but Jay, he's more so a student. He's not really much of a teacher. He's more so a student. But again, definitely respect to the dude. He's been a good friend of mine for a whole number of years. But he's definitely a little bit lacking when it comes to Bible knowledge. Shit, like that brother comes to me and asks for scriptures on topics, which is good. It helps benefit him, also helps benefit me through repetition of having to go through verses time after time after time, which is a good thing. Say, hey, I'm open to all the questions, and verse pulling. Hell, it benefits my brain, benefits his brain. It benefits the audience's brain as well, which is always a good thing. Let me see. This brother asked, does the Bible have a law against Halloween? I would say, of course, you're not going to see the word Halloween in the Bible because the holiday did not exist back then. Just like you're not going to see the word Thanksgiving or Christmas in the Bible. But we can certainly conclude, if you do some research on these holidays, a vast majority of these holidays go back to like worshiping of idols and stuff. So we certainly are not supposed to be enacting in these holidays. Yeah, like this brother put up a good response right there. Right. So again, if you look into some of the history, like on Wikipedia about some of these holidays, a lot of them go back to like idol worship. So we're not supposed to take part in these holidays. Let me see. Yeah, we're already at 40 minutes. Man, time went by quick. It's currently over here. It's 1 a.m. right now in the morning. Yeah, yeah. The Bible says, "Thou shalt not follow a multitude to do evil." Yeah, that is a verse. Let's see. I don't think I can name it off the top of the head, but as far as I know, that's in Exodus or Leviticus. It says, "Thou shalt not follow a multitude in a false judgment." Yeah, I'd say that Jay's an Israelite. Um, this brother said LOP does too. I don't know, man. I can't answer that question. I don't know the dude's background, so I can't answer that. Well, the word God has a context to it. Like, I'll give you an example. Did you know, in Psalms 82 and, what is that scripture? Psalms 82, I believe it's 6, it says that ye are gods. So the Bible in the context it called men gods, but it shows it that the word God has context to it. Like Abraham's wife, she called him God. Does that mean that he's like God, the supreme God? No, it just has context to it. So, if we keep it in context, and you could say that, but that's where people get mixed up because they'll see a verse where it calls Jesus God, and then they automatically think, well, oh, we'll see, that proves that he's the Father. It's like, no, we see people in the Bible get called God, but it doesn't mean that they're God the Father. Like the Bible says in 2 Corinthians 4, verse 4, it calls Satan the God of this world. So does that mean that Satan is like God the Father because it calls him the God of the world? Clearly, no, based on the context. But again, the word God is used. So again, a lot of people just have a childish understanding of the Bible. It's very childish to me. Let's see. Well, and it's funny because you got all these other dudes going around on the internet, thinking that they unlocked some type of like deep hidden secret where they like said, "Hey, okay, look, well, there's actually like two gods in the Bible, right? The Old Testament God is like the devil, but then the New Testament God is actually the true righteous God." And then they pulled out all these like cherry picked verses to try to to show that. It's very bizarre to me. But again, this is what happens when just regular nobodies try to pick up the Bible and think it they figured everything out. Hell, like Perry Green is a great example. The dude says that he's only been reading the Bible and has only been a quote unquote true Christian since the year 2020. But he, sits there, talks shit, runs his mouth, makes it look like he knows everything that there is to know. But the dude only been reading the Bible for not even 5 years yet. You know what I'm saying? But whereas a person like me who's been in the faith for 10 years, I'll tell you, hey, look, I don't have all the answers. I'm still learning every day. This, as the saying goes, you learn something new every day, and that's certainly true. But again, it's just pathetic how some of these people are on the internet. It's just very bizarre. This brother said, "Yeah, Trinity doctrine is satanic nonsense. Idol worshiping a fake free-headed God. Yeah, it's that's another false doctrine." Brother said, "Laughing my ass off. Yeah, these guys who say Old Testament God is the devil are just mad, effeminate, and want to make the Bible woke." Yeah, it's again, it's bizarre to me, how a lot of these people, and again, I've had multiple debates about this topic, so it's not just something I saw a random YouTube video about like yesterday, and I'm just giving my thoughts on it. I've literally had, I want to say, like 5 debates with 5 different people throughout the last 3 years about the concept of the Old Testament God being the devil, and I can easily say that I've never heard a valid argument to support that claim. All they're doing is just saying, "Hey, look, where this God does evil, but Jesus is all about good." And then I show a verse or two where Christ, comes back and slays a lot of people, and ask, "Well, wait, isn't this Jesus here?" And then they'll tell me, "Oh, it's either parabolic or that's actually the Satan God making himself appear as Christ." And I think to myself and ask these people, it's like, well, wait, if you're just going to make up and add things when you want, it's like, well, how the hell do you know what part is reliable and true and what part is not reliable? And a whole nother thing with this idiot I was talking to a couple days ago, this guy calls himself Dirty Varmint, which is an interesting name. I like, it's like, what type of person would name themselves that? It's already putting themselves down, right? Putting their character down before the conversation even begins, just off of their name. But, the guy's telling me, hey, look, you know, the New Testament, I believe in it, but, you have to throw like 80% of it out, only go by a couple things. It's like, shit, we may as well call Dirty Varmint a unbeliever because he only believes in like 5 verses of the Bible, and that's basically it. So it's like, it's very bizarre to me. It's like shit. I asked the dude to pull out his Bible, and what he would realistically do, he'll have like a damn little booklet in his back pocket, or like one sheet that has like 5 verses in it, and that's his Bible. Hell, same thing with Perry Green, right? He'll bring out his little notebook that has 5 verses written down, and that's the Bible to Perry Green, right? Again, it's bizarre to me, but this is how some of these idiots think. Yeah, yeah, that's a good point. Brother said because they made Christ out to be a giant teddy bear hippie. Yeah, exactly. And that's how they depict Christ. Like, oh, it wasn't hurt to fly. It's like, well, wait a second. Don't you guys say that Jesus is God in the same breath? And didn't the God of the Old Testament literally wipe out the entire world except like 8 people and a handful of animals? So wait, isn't that Jesus though? Because Jesus was the Old Testament God they teach. So didn't Jesus do that? Again, by their logic, I don't see how they could say no. Right. So even with that logic about Jesus being the God of the Old Testament himself, well, that throws this whole idea out the window because then you got to say that Christ did those things. And that literally ends the whole argument just on that by itself. So again, these people have like no leg to stand on at this point. Brother asked, what part of the New Testament did he say was official? As far as I remember, he was telling me that certain parts of the Gospels were acceptable. I believe he rejects John. He might accept Matthew. He accepts some of Paul's writings, but then rejects some of Paul's writings. Oh, actually, let me rephrase myself. I misspoke. He said that Paul was the Antichrist. He said Apostle Paul was actually the Antichrist, is what he said. So no, I take that back. He doesn't accept Paul's writings. I misspoke. He totally rejects Paul and says that he was the Antichrist that the Bible warned about. I think to myself, wait, it's like, wait a second, what the hell? How the hell was Paul the Antichrist the Bible warned about? And then second of all, why the hell was Paul's writings included in the Bible if he's like this wicked figure or whatever? You know what I'm saying? It's like it makes no sense. And then second of all, how the hell was Paul some type of like wicked figure? Isn't he like being humble the whole time? Like he calls himself the chief among sinners. It says that he has to be low so Christ can be lifted up. Puts others ahead of himself. So like, how is he the Antichrist exactly? Like I just don't get that. I don't get that. Again, it's foolishness. Galapagos said Perry needed a defibrillator to get out of that debate. Hey, look, man, as I already said, right? I'm just gonna keep it 100. By the end of that debate, Perry Green was code blue, knocked out on the floor, and he needed to get airlifted nearest ER. That's the and again, I'm metaphorically speaking here, but that's the level of embarrassment I served him there, right? Metaphorically, I knocked the wind out of him. And let's just keep it real, right? I'm just keeping it 100 with the people, right? I'm just keeping it real, right? Like again, a lot of other people on YouTube are gonna lie to you and just tell you a bunch of nonsense. But I'm just gonna keep it 100. I'm just gonna keep it. I'm just gonna bring the facts out. That's just what I do over here. What matter of fact, let me look at this real quick. There we go. Yeah, spiritual knockout. Let me see. I missed a couple comments. Brother said Jay going to hell. No, hell don't exist, man. We're already in hell right now. We're living in bad times right now, right? Hell is a condition on the physical earth. Shit, I'm in a hell-like condition. Like, let me give you an example. I just watched a video before I came out here about this billionaire, and they show you his like lifestyle. I believe the name of the channel is like, you know what? I can even look real quick. Let me just grab it real quick. All right, I found it. The name of the YouTube channel is called Tommy G. Tommy G, and he has 2 million subscribers. He put up a video recently about this billionaire, and they show you like this guy's lifestyle. Again, definitely a smart man, but it's like, damn, that dude has it all. Meanwhile, I'm over here, figuring out how I'm gonna stretch, $53 for the next 2 weeks. Hey, it brings to mind Psalms chapter 73. Right? Nearly paraphrasing, it says, hey, they are not in trouble like other men, neither are they plagued like other men. And if you read the whole chapter, it's talking about like the elite. And a billionaire, that's the elite. Matter of fact, here's a fun fact for you. In the world today, there are only 2,800 people who have $1 billion in their bank account. 2,800 people out of the 8 billion people who live on Earth. As far as millionaires, I believe there's well, the number went up since Corolla because people are making that cash off of Bitcoin. So there's probably about 20 million people in the world who are millionaires. I could be mistaken on that. You might have to fact check that, but it's only in the few millions. But for those who don't know how much a billion is, the quick math on it is that 1 million is 1,000 times, right? So if you spend $1,000 1,000 times, that's a million. 1 billion is a million 1,000 times. So if you spend a million 1,000 times, that's $1 billion. A trillion is 1 billion 1,000 times. So if you spend $1 billion 1,000 times, that's a trillion. Quick math for everybody. Then his knucklehead Perry was like, "Oh, well, ETT, you got to look at the computer to get your verses. You don't know them off the top of the head." It's like, well, dumbass, you do realize 90% of the verses I quoted tonight are literally off the top of the head. I'm sitting out here in a cold ass car, shivering during the debate. You're sitting there in your trailwood trailer home, right, mobile home that you're living in with the damn heater cranked up next to you. Sitting there in your damn pajamas. Shit, that dude might even be in his damn underwear. Who the hell knows? You know what I'm saying? So, hey, the odds were stacked against me, but I prevailed. I gave that dude a spiritual uppercut. Let me see. Yeah, yeah. Perry just pulls that five Paul verses. Right, right. So it's like shit. We can't go to what Jesus said. And you know what I find funny? If y'all watch the debate, did you notice that Harry tried to say, "Hey, look, ETT is trying to bring you all unto sin. He's trying to keep you in continual sin, right? ETT is trying to make you feel comfortable and continue to live in sin." And I called him out, which he completely tried to interrupt me so I couldn't say it because it was daggering him. But I called him out and said, "Well, wait, how am I teaching people to live in sin by teaching them God's law?" And by logic, if you're going to say that by me teaching them to keep the law is leading them to sin, well, then by logic, you have to say Jesus was leading people to sin because he said that anybody who doesn't keep the laws, they're going to be least in God's kingdom. For those who do the law and teach them, they're going to be great in God's kingdom. Right? Matthew 5, 17 to 19. So, and when I brought that out, he didn't want to answer it. He was like, okay, Nick, well, let's cut this short. I don't want to continue. It's like, well, wait, weren't you just, weren't you just begging me for the last 2 weeks about doing this debate? Now, 30 minutes in, now you want to chicken shit run away? It's like, come on, but he was like, oh, well, ETT don't want to do the discussion. But then when we do the discussion, 30 minutes in, the guy's like, oh, okay, Dick, I'm done. I don't want to do it anymore. It's like, wow, that's pretty pathetic. His brother said, "Bro, did you watch the ISUPK Tommy G video? They got clowned so bad in the comments." I did not watch it yet. However, I did add it to my watch later, and I plan on listening to that video later tonight or tomorrow morning. Now, actually, you know what I find funny? I actually knew about this video 2 weeks ago before it was uploaded because when I was watching one of the ISUPK live streams, they actually showed Tommy G when he was there. Like he showed up at the radio show station, so he could actually like attend the Across the Line radio live in person to see what it's all about and record for his channel. So I knew about what was happening before the video was publicly uploaded. And you know what? Fun fact, by the way, I found out that the headquarters where Cross the Line Radio is hosted every Thursday night is literally 1 hour from where I'm at. I'm not going to say the town name on here, but if you go to their website, I believe it's IUIC and IUIC. I mean ISUPK .com or something like that or .org. And if you go to the bottom of it, you'll see the location of the school. And I looked it up and it's like literally an hour and 5 minutes from where I'm at. I was like, oh shit. I didn't know they were that close. Thought those dudes were in like Atlanta or something. Cause um I know Guerrilla Hebrews Sakari headquarters is located in Atlanta. Which I've actually been to Atlanta before. I went to Atlanta in 2017. So the Sakari HQ was not yet set up in in that time. I believe Sakari opened the HQ in 2021, if I'm not mistaken. Because I remember watching the grand opening stream they did about it, and that was just a couple of years ago. But yeah, I've been to Atlanta. It's definitely an interesting city, to say the least. I went to the CNN center they got down there, like the news CNN, the actual station they have down there. This brother's mocking Perry said, Perry, I don't sin. Well, smoking cigarettes, coughing a lung up, calling people names, and cursing like a sailor inside his trailer. Yeah, it's like it's amazing to me. But his brain dead zombies were like, look, that's a righteous man. But, these Hebrew Israelites, those are wicked sinners. It's like, wow, again, the level of brainwashing and brain rot is just, it's very bizarre to me. It's very bizarre the level of brainwashed and brain rot that these people have. Like, shit, you know what I find funny? I think Perry's audience, they have more brain rot than Gen Alpha has. If anybody knows what I'm talking about, right? The Gen Alpha, 5-year-olds, 4-year-olds running around here, skibbity toilet and all this nonsense on the internet that these kids are watching, and it's so it's ridiculous. But I think Perry Green's audience, they're more brainwashed than the Gen Alpha out here running around. I think that's a reasonable observation, at least in my humble opinion. Let me see. Yeah, yeah, I'll have to I'll have to check that out, man. I'll have to check that out. Shit, I know that those dudes meet up with like the local police in Harlem, right? That's what they did a stream about that maybe 3 weeks ago. But those guys, those are a bunch of clowns over there. Again, I give them credit. Definitely he's knowledgeable guys, but hey, just because you're smart doesn't mean you know everything, though. Yeah, Ian is probably a troll account on here, but I'm not gonna give him the boot though because on my platform, I actually allow people to speak. Unlike what's this dude that looks like the elf from Lord of the Rings? This guy, Gen X Jeff or something like that, right? The dude literally looks like the Elven King from Lord of the Rings trilogy. Y'all can look him up if you don't know what I'm talking about, right? Gen X Jeff. Yeah, yeah. This brother said, "Yeah, Ian is either a troll or bugged out." Yeah, he is. Shit, I don't know what one, man. But yeah, he's definitely, smoking some strong stuff for just a damn troll. But Ian, if you're a troll, man, let me tell you something. You're a weak ass troll compared to the ones I've dealt with over the years. And you can ask Ridge Napper. You can ask Ridge Napper about that. Because that brother's he knows what I'm talking about. He's been there for a number of years, through that situation. So yeah, Ian, if you're a troll, man, you're like a level one troll compared to what I've dealt with. This brother said IHBK sold out. They told people to take the tomato juice roosters. Gotta use code language. Yeah, it's bizarre, man, because I seen um Tazariak said that General Johanna, which is their overweight leader they have over there, right? But Johanna took the yab for his own. Listen here, this is literally what they said. He took the yab for his own personal health and safety. I'm thinking to myself, like, whoa, hold on a second, hold on a second. So you're telling me these guys that have been so called exposing the white man since the '60s, y'all are now taking his poison or taking his roosters? It's like, wait, aren't you guys supposed to be talking against that? So why the hell would you take it for your own health and safety? I mean, that's bizarre. Doesn't the Apocrypha say, "Never trust your enemy"? Iron rust, so does his wickedness. I believe that's Ecclesiasticus 12:10, if I'm not mistaken. But the Apocrypha says, "Never trust your enemy, for as iron rust, so does his wickedness." Right? So it's just that's bizarre to me. And then he also mentioned when last year when Alazar went down to their headquarters and they did like an hour long discussion. It was a pretty good discussion, but he mentioned in there. I remember he was like, "Hey, look, man, we're all good and whatnot, but I think you guys owe Johann a apology because y'all said that he was wrong for getting these yabs. But I think y'all owe him an apology because it was for his own health and safety." I mean, wow, that's a little bit weird. Shit, I believe he did, man. Shit, who the hell knows? Maybe it was a placebo, if you know what that is, right? Maybe they gave his ass a placebo. No, I don't, Ian, I don't know who that is, man. Let me see. Yeah, that could be true, man. I don't know. Man, let's see what else is going on. You know, and it's funny, I was actually not gonna do a stream tonight. I was actually on YouTube and I was looking, to see what else is like, what other people are streaming right now, right? And it's just a bunch of garbage, right? You type in StreamYard, click the live button, or open panel, click the live button, and certain keywords to see what will pop up. And as usual, just a bunch of garbage. There's either people talking about cooking, talking about, this whole election coming up, talking about, just relationship problems, you know, talking about um Epstein, of course, talking about Diddy, and all these other distractions, you know what I'm saying? And there's nothing good, right? I found maybe like one stream, but they weren't letting people on. But nothing else. I was like, you know what, shit, I'll just go live for an hour or so on my page. Nothing else to do. Nothing else good is on. You know what I'm saying? So, so yeah, that's how I got here tonight. Yeah, 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 right, Galapagos. Remember that dude? The dude was in his damn in the mountains or whatever. It's like, shit, that dude fell off the face of the planet and poops. Right? Shit, nobody. You know what I find funny? I was going through my subscriptions literally yesterday, and I found Pop's channel. I was like, oh, look, Pops, let me click on it. Everything was gone. There was no streams, no videos, no activity. So I was like, oh, shit, poops fell off the face of the earth, basically. You know what I find funny? Pops looks like this dude I watched, this reactor. The YouTube channel is named Spaz Boys Comedy. Spaz Boys Comedy. Look at that dude. That dude looks like Pops. Right? That's Pops there. Shit, who the hell knows what happens to those dude, man? I don't know. Oh, with Primal Man. Shit, what the hell ever happened to Primal Man? Shit, as far as I know, Primal Man left the full preterism movement, which is a good thing. I mean, at least his dumbass was able to see through that deception, which it's about time. I mean, how many times did I have a discussion with that idiot and showed him how he was wrong? And not only me, other people had discussions with him about the topic. But I got to give him credit. At least he manned up and accepted that he had a misunderstanding and stopped, following that garbage. So I mean, I got to at least give him that, right? This brother said the guy threw out the Bible and then himself. Yeah, yeah. It's typical, right? That's what these people are doing out here. Shit, some of these people probably don't even know if they exist. Shit, but I was listening to something earlier. I believe it's called main character syndrome or something like that, where people think that they're like the main character and everything, like a real life illness, and they think that they're like the center of attention and everything. Again, you can look it up to know if you know what I'm talking about, right? Like main character illness or something like that. Main character symptom. I was watching like a disease iceberg earlier. For you, those of y'all who know what icebergs are, his brother said that's why, as far as Bible teachers, I mostly listen to GMS because they cover current events based on Bible, and most other people just talk folly. Yeah, yeah, man. And again, I've been following GMS since 2016. Shit, so what is that, like 8 years? Right. I've been listening to the Apostles of Great Millstone for 8 years. And I will say this, right? Even though I don't think they have 100% truth, I will say that they are certainly the number one Israelite camp that I recommend people watch, right? Hey, look, don't listen to IUIC, don't listen to these Genesis dudes, don't listen to Sakari, don't listen to ISUPK. Those guys all have errors, much more than GMS. Now, I will say this though, sometimes it can um sometimes it can be good to listen to some of these other groups to understand their position on some topics. And I will admit this, sometimes these groups can give good information on some topics, but that doesn't mean that we should just regurgitate everything they say. Like, I'll give you an example. The ISUPK guys, those are very knowledgeable guys, but they are clearly wrong on topics. They are clearly wrong. Like the whole flat earth, they know nothing about that. Neither do those Genesis or Sakari dudes. But then when it comes to Gentiles, they might give you a whole lot of information. So again, a good statement to live by is to take the meat and leave the bones. If you ever heard that abbreviation before. Take the good, leave the bad. Yeah, yeah, that's a good way to look at it, right? The brother said, fact, all other camps have like 10% truth. GMS got like 90%. Yeah, that's a good way to look at it, right? GMS got like 90% of the truth, and then 10% they have some errors on, but most other camps only got like 10% of the truth. Right, like most of these other camps, all they know is, well, yeah, we're the Israelites, keep God's law. Jesus was black, and that's basically it. You know what I'm saying? That shit, they might know like one or two Bible verses about Gentiles, but that's about it for most of these other camps. But hell, I'll tell you this though, every Israelite camp knows more than the Christian church. And that's for damn sure. Just brother asked, what about Wi-Fi? Is can't pronounce the brother's name. Is he a good teacher? I don't really watch much of the Wi-Fi camp. However, I do know about them. I know about the Wi-Fi camp. Right. I believe it stands for Watchmen for Israel, correct? We're at Watchmen for Israel. Again, I know about the dudes, but I don't really watch them. Again, there's other dudes out there like Fire of God is another one. Sons of Thunder, House of Israel, um, Fishers of Zion. Again, that's just another handful. There's probably like, realistically with you, there's probably like 200 Israelite groups that are out there. Believe the IUIC is the most popular camp, right? They have a few 100,000 subscribers and they have 20,000 plus official members around the world, right? So they're like the most popular. But as far as like the official 60s school, the ISGPK claims to be like the original One West school. But yeah, out of all the camps, GMS is the one that got 90% of the truth. So if you're going to follow a camp, follow Great Millstone. But again, take some of what they say with a grain of salt. That's how a wise man would think. Don't just regurgitate what somebody tells you on the internet. Take everything with a grain of salt and look into it for yourself. And that's something that Perry's followers can't seem to learn, right? They repeat the garbage he tells them, but never actually take 5 seconds to look into anything the idiot says. But hey, somebody has to somebody has to get judged, so hell, better them than me, right? That's how you gotta look at things, man. Hey, somebody has to be the wicked, right? God made both sides. God made the right hand and the left hand. So somebody has to be the wicked. Not everybody can be the righteous. So hey, those guys are just falling into their lot. Excuse me, they're falling into their lot that they were created for. Hey, Proverbs 16:4. For the Lord created all things for himself, even the wicked for the day of evil. A lot of people don't know that. Shit, Caden didn't know about that verse. A little inside joke. Which, Rudy, you did a phenomenal job on that dude, man. But, you gotta go easy on Caden, because he's, young dude, so you gotta, he's still learning. If anybody was wondering what I'm sipping on over here, I'm drinking a water. It's the Liquid Death water, and it's severed lime. So it's like a lime flavored um, carbonated water. It's not too bad, but I picked it up because it was only like 98 cents at the store. I was like, oh shit, 98 cents. I see these things at Five Below, and they want damn what is it, like 260 for one can. I was like, oh shit, that's better pick up the deal while I have it, right? The mango one's actually pretty good too. I've had I've had the mango one, I've had the berry one, and I've had the lime one. All of them are pretty good, but only worth if you can get them for like $1 or so, like on sale. His brother said, "Put up more debates." Yeah, put up more debates on your channel. Well, I don't know if you watched all of them, man. I mean, shit, we got like what 250 plus debates on the channel. But don't be disappointed though, because I have a lot of debates that are coming. I literally have I want to say probably have 12 debates that are pre-recorded and are not uploaded. And for those who don't know what that means, they're debates that already happened but have not publicly been uploaded yet. So I have debates about hell, have a debate, multiple debates about the Trinity, and is Christ God? About what happens when people die, about Revelation, about a whole factor of topics. I have a bunch of debates that are publicly held that are not uploaded yet. And you know why I do that? I call it a backlog, right? It's a smart idea to have a backlog of videos that you have pre-recorded, but you have not uploaded publicly yet. Like, I'll give an example. I have like 10 lessons I've done about random topics that I have not uploaded yet. Why? Because, say, if I go out of town for a week or two and I don't get a chance to record, then, hey, look, I can just upload something from my backlog I might have recorded a month or two ago. Or I can upload, let's say, if I don't get to do a debate for the next 2 weeks, I can just upload one or two from my backlog until I get, called up on, what I got with my time. You know what I'm saying? So it's just a wise idea to have some videos recorded in advance. So if you don't get a chance to record for whatever reason, you can just upload something you already pre-recorded. And again, nobody would know. Like, say for instance, um, if I take part of this stream today and I upload it 2 months in the future, nobody would know that the video was from what is it right now? October the 19th. Nobody would know it was from today unless I mention it in the video, right? They would just oh look, ETT uploaded a new upload, and then they listen to it. Hey, how you doing, Jay? Glad to see you stop by. By the way, that looks like a cool logo you got, man. Brother said, "Yeah, I'm still laughing at that Catholic guy. He was so dumb and brainwashed." Yeah, yeah. That dude. Hell, and that's a whole nother debate that I didn't publicly upload on my page. To be fair, I did put a link to the original video on the what was it, on the community post for those who wanted to clip that. But yeah, that was ridiculous, that dude, right? For those who don't know what I'm talking about, I went on to a popular Christian channel and there was a Roman Catholic, like an official member of the Roman Catholic Church, who was taking questions or stuff from the people in the audience. I was like, you know what, I'll hop on there and I'll just talk to the dude and see what happens, right? So it was pretty entertaining and funny, in my opinion. Now that guy that he got daggered. It was like, oh, I love Pope Francis. ETT. Hope you convert to the Catholic faith. Come here and worship in our synagogues. You know what I'm saying? It's hilarious. This brother said, "Thanks, man. Working on new stuff." Yeah, that's cool, man. Yeah, Jay, I seen StreamYard just went up to $50. I was thinking, oh shit, $50. Hey, look, I'm used to always, having to half-ass things, right? I'm into life hacks and doing things half-ass. That's just the skills I've picked up over the years. You know what I'm saying? So, hey, look, I ain't gonna pay no $50. Shit, I'm good. I'm content with just using the free StreamYard. All I need is my 20 hours a month, and I'm good. And by the way, you can get an extra 8 hours or so if you start a stream when you have 19 hours, or excuse me, when you use 19 hours and you only have 1 hour left, you can actually start a stream and go completely past the 20-hour limit, and it will not cut the stream off until you end the stream. So you can get a whole nother 8 hours out of it for completely free. The only catch is once you end the stream, you can't do another one until your monthly time resets. That's the catch. This brother said, I seen that. It's ridiculous. I can't even afford the 20. Yeah, I hear you. Hear what you're saying. Say, shit, I thought, $20 was a lot. But shit, now we're talking about $50. And I was talking to somebody else on YouTube who does streams, and they were telling me that they pay one that's like $75 a month. I was like, oh shit, $75 for StreamYard? Damn, that's it's a bit much. It's like, why can't y'all just use the free version? Like, I get, you don't get all of the little goodies with it or whatnot, but sure, you get to go live and bring people on stage with you. It's like, isn't that good enough for free, right? Hell, YouTube's free, and StreamYard technically can be free, so it's a win-win situation. I mean, sure, it's not perfect, but I mean, what can you expect for free, right? Hell, you can't even say you get what you pay for because you're not paying for it. But yeah, man, I've heard recently somebody was saying that a dude made StreamYard like in his basement or something, and then it sold for like what I believe it was $150 million, or I could be mistaken. It might be more than that. You'll have to do a Google search on it, but it sold for well over $100 million. So the guy got it in like what, 4 years or something like that. Because StreamYard's not old, right? Hell, back when I first started doing YouTube, we had to stream directly from the YouTube app. And we used something called Google Hangouts, right? There was an app called Google Hangouts. I don't even know if that even exists anymore, but that's how I used to talk to Rock Upon Him, Kyle, Loving Christian, Ridge Napper, and hell, Izzy Pop 15, Inside Joke. A couple other individuals. But that's how we used to dreams like, 7, 8 years ago together. But this whole StreamYard thing, this is all brand new. This wasn't around back then. Yeah, brother said nobody can afford that. I mean, you'd be surprised, man. There's people out here paying that. Hell, I don't know how the hell they afford it, but there's literally people I've seen that are paying for that service. Like, shit, what the hell? How are you people affording $50 a month for StreamYard? I don't get that. Hell, I'm content with just using the free version. Hell, in the prepping community, they have a abbreviation. It's called KISS. And what it means is keep it simple, stupid. Right? Keep it simple, stupid is what it means. So, hey, look, StreamYard, easy to use. Don't need to get any of your bank account information involved with it. All you gotta do is log into the account and go live. Right? Keep it simple, stupid. Right? Hey, no problems involved. Hey, how you doing, DJ Spin Man? It's been a while since I've seen you on here. Hope you're doing well, brothers. The Shreg is watching over us. Hell, who the hell knows, man? Who the hell knows? Either Shreg is laying around in the Airbnb somewhere. The dude's either under a bridge in a golf course community, or is in the spiritual realm right now. Who the hell knows, man? I don't know the answer to that question. Hell, your guess is as good as mine. That's what I can say at the end of the day. You know, it was funny. I was watching earlier a compilation of trash gaming setups. Just like computer setups in general, right? And I was laughing at some of this nonsense, man. You literally have people out there, using a damn ironing board as the setup for their computer. Literally got people out there that just put like a plank of wood over two small trash cans, and using that as a desk. And then don't even get me started on the hoarder rooms, right? Literally have a decent desk set up, but then there's like a mountain of trash 2 feet tall throughout the entire room. It's like, how the hell can people live like this? You know what I'm saying? And hey, look, some of y'all might see the TV show Hoarders and might think, oh, it's all just over exaggerated for the cameras and and all that just to entertain people. But no, you would be wrong, because I myself saw this firsthand. I used to work at a community park, right? And there was a trailer they had there, and this dude, he was like a local nurse at a he worked at like a pharmacy, right? He was a local pharmacy dude at the CVS up the street, right? And we went into this dude's house, and oh my god, I'm talking about 3 feet high of trash for literally the entire trailer. So when they called the dude out on it, when the dude that owns the property called him out, the dude said, "Hey, look, I ain't dealing with it. The dude just sent in his keys and let us deal with the problem, right?" So I kid you not, and it took me and another coworker literally 2.5 months to empty the trailer completely, which I was 17 at the time. So they legally probably could have got in trouble if somebody found out that I was working on it, because, it was a biohazard site. Like literally they should have called in, a special unit to, literally like burn the place down. It was so terrible. The building had to be absolutely gutted down to the frame. It was so bad. Literally the dude that owns the house literally had to pay like, I want to say like $40,000 to refix this trailer. Again, it was that bad. It literally was 9 trailers full of garbage that we removed. Like, you ever seen a house where they pull up a dumpster and like drop it in the front yard in front of the house in the driveway? It literally took us 9 of those to empty this 1 bedroom trailer house out. Again, I'm not even exaggerating this here. I'm being serious. literally took 9 of them to empty this house. So again, take my word for it. What you see on Hoarders is real. That's not just for the cameras and for your entertainment. That is real. All right. I've seen it firsthand. There's people out here that actually are living like that. And that's sad. It is really sad. But it's a mental disability, mental illness. This brother asked, you got any of my texts? I'm not sure if they're sending. I believe I did get a notification, but I haven't been able to respond to him yet because I've been a little busy today, man. But when I'm done with this, I'll double check, and if you did send me something, I will respond to it. Um, but yeah, I'll have to double check, man. Let me see. Hell, I've been having a little bit fun with these slogans and slides that I'm putting up on the stream for y'all. Let me just look over the chat real quick to make sure I addressed everything. Yeah, it looks like we're all caught up with that. But yeah, man, it's a lot of shit going on right now. A lot of stuff going on, in the world, so it's a lot to take in right now, especially for those of us, in this faith of ours, right? Or hell, as Gabar says, right? This thing of ours, right? This thing of ours that we're in. It's hell, even as Shreg was saying, right? Even as hey, well, I didn't say that I was ending yet, but if you got a drop, then thanks for stopping by. But even as Shreg was saying, hey, look, the Bible is looking pretty good right now, and he's right, right? He's right. The Bible is looking pretty good, because in times past, people could just say, the Bible, it's a thing of fiction, that people just believe, like just a magic god or whatever. But now we're living in a time where the Bible certainly is looking true and reliable, because the things the Bible warned about and talked about are happening around the world, so the Bible certainly seems like a reliable book because the things that talked about in it are actually, coming true. Like even some of these agnostic guys, like I watch this dude on YouTube that calls himself the Canadian prepper. I call him the Canadian pepper, right? He's the Canadian pepper. Shit, you got the angry pepper and the Canadian pepper. Shit, I don't know what one of them would be hotter realistically. That's a really good question. If both of those dudes were actually sold peppers, right? What one would be hotter? Would the Canadian pepper be hotter or would the angry pepper be hotter? And I'm a spice fanatic. I have all of I literally in front of my Xbox that I play with Rudy on, I literally have a sauce collection, and in the storage I got like 50 hot sauce bottles from around the world. Hey, I'm big into that hot sauce, man. Hell, I literally have if any of y'all ever watched the YouTube channel, what was it, Hot Ones, where they like bring celebrities on and let them try like the world's hottest hot sauce. I have the baddest one on there, right? The one that freaks everybody out. It's called Day Bomb is the name of the sauce. You can look it up on Amazon. It's expensive, but man, That's you never had anything like that before. Hell, I don't recommend trying it because it's a little bit intense. But I will say though, it's not as bad as that Packy chip. Man, shit, I'll be the first to admit. And y'all saw the video, right? I'll admit I got my ass handed to me by a damn chip. Like I mean, damn. Talk about shit. I sit on here and say that I hand out spiritual knockouts, but I got my ass humbled. I got my ass humbled by that Packy chip. Yeah, that's no joke right there, man. That is no joke. There's a reason why it's $20 per chip. Shit, there was actually a kid recently who died from eating like I think he ate like 16 of them in a row. But to be fair, he had like a medical condition, so it wasn't like the chip that killed him on purpose. But he had a medical condition, so he wasn't supposed to like eat that type of stuff. But still, he died from eating like 16 of those. But man, that Packy chip, that is no joke, man. Let me give you an example. This is how bad it was, right? This is how bad the chip was. And I only ate like what, less than 50% because I gave my brother half of it as well, right? So, well, a little under half because I had a bigger piece. But it was so bad, right? It makes your eyes water. It literally made my nose bleed, right? My nose was bleeding. And bear for a second. Right, nose was bleeding. And then it literally took like 15 minutes for the for the heat to go away. Yeah, 15, 20 minutes. And then a half an hour later, once the chip got into my stomach, it literally feels like you're getting attacked from the inside. And they even mentioned this on the disclaimer that they call it what was it called? I think they called it like a claw attack or something like that. The best way I can describe it is it feels like there's an animal in you that's trying to claw its way out. It's a very bizarre sensation, but man, I got to admit, that chip had me on the bed, and man, I was clenching my stomach, man. I've never had such severe stomach pain like that in my entire life. So man, I got that package chip. That is no joke right there, man. I don't recommend trying that, but I did it though. Yeah, yeah. Galapagos said, "Yeah, you got me cracking up when he said that black dude looks like Winnie the Pooh." Yeah, yeah, yeah. But I mean, seriously, right? That dude, the angry pepper, right? Angry Prepper. That dude looks like a black version of Winnie the Pooh. Like I mean, seriously, that's what that dude looks like, right? If you handed that dude a damn honey pot and put some damn, ears on the dude, like dollar store ears, you wouldn't be able to tell the difference. Like shit, that dude could, cast in the real life, hood version of Winnie the Pooh. Because you know that Disney's into all of these like real life, you know, um, fairy tale remakes, right? Like we see that whole Ariel and the whole upcoming Cinderella real life take, and all this other stuff, right? I think they're doing a Milan as well soon. But yeah, shit, that dude could cast as a black version of Winnie the Pooh in the hood version. And I'm not even trying to be funny. I'm being serious. What games I'll be playing on Xbox? Um, I had a Warface. I have Fortnite, and I have Modern Warfare 2. Those are the three games that I have as of now on the PlayStation 4. Yo, and by the way, if anybody's watching and you have a PlayStation 4, you're welcome to add me. You can ask in the comment section underneath the stream, and later I can respond with a gamer tag. If anybody's watching and has that, you're welcome to let me know down below. Oh, and on my phone, I play Clash of Clans. If any of y'all know what that is, right? Clash of Clans. It's funny because I literally, in my clan, I literally know like 5 people in there. We got Rudy in there, we got Jay in there, I'm in there. I have another my buddy Mark is in there. I have another close friend that's in there. Um, might be one other person I know in there. But yeah, we're stacked in Clash of Clans. By the way, if anybody's watching and you play Clash of Clans, my clan name is Just for Fun. I believe we're like level 16 clan. And by the way, I did not name it that. A quick history of I've been in the clan for like 2.5 years, but the leader of it had to leave, so he appointed me to take over things because he left to like go to one of the family clans, right? Because we have clans that are like in an alliance, right? So he went to like a clan above ours, and then he gave me the leadership of the one we got now. So I'm the leader of it. Shit, so that means I get to make the rules. The guys were on there, they were telling me, man, you should make a damn Discord server. And I wasn't gonna give them the one I have for my channel. Because in Clash of Clans, I don't keep I don't bring up any type of religion or politics or anything like that. We just play the game in our free time, just to have fun and just to try to escape some of the stress of real life. You know what I'm saying? And at times it can be helpful to do that. Everybody needs a little step out of reality sometime. Shit, some guys turn to beer, alcohol, some turn to drugs, some turn to games. And if you ask me, clearly the healthier alternative is going to be the games. Let me see. Yeah, we're already an hour and a half and 40 minutes in. Fun fact though, Clash of Clans has actually been out for 12 years. I believe it came out in like 2011, something like that. 2012. Yeah, I think it's like 2012 or something like that. Shit, a whole nother I grew up playing Minecraft, which that game actually has been out for 15 years now. So damn, 15 years. That's it's crazy there. That game came out in 2009. So it's been 15 years that Minecraft's been out. But shit, that game is nothing like what it used to be years ago. It's like totally unrecognizable to what it was when I was playing it. Fun fact though, I believe at Microsoft they Minecraft. I believe it was. I want to say $2 billion they bought it for. It might even be more than that. Again, you can look that up. You can fact check that. But they bought Minecraft for like multiple $1 billion. So it shows you that the gaming industry. That hey, that's no joke, man. There's serious cash in there. Hell, you can create your own game and you can make literally if it's popular enough, you can make hundreds of thousands in a day. Like there's certain games out there literally making a few $1 million in revenue every single day off of in-app purchases. For those that don't know what that is, it's like developers can sell things to the players in game with you can buy like perks or get like passes or stuff like that in exchange for real life money, and then you just pay with it with your credit card or debit, whatever you got. You can type it in there and pay for it with that. And that's how these companies are making some serious cash. It's funny because I used to play a game that was called Clash of Kings. It's still out there now, but man, I haven't played that game in years. But the funny thing is I saw this one story. There was a kid who got his parents' card, and the kid spent, like, literally $50,000 behind their back on the in-game coin currency, right? So here it is, the kid secretly charged $50,000 to his family's, bank account without them knowing, and now the family has to go into debt to pay back that money. It's like, damn, that's pretty bizarre. And you know what, man? A whole 'nother one, Clash Royale, which is similar to Clash of Clans, but it's like a break off of it. And that game used to be fun, years ago. It used to be a decent game, but now it's all like pay to win, right? Like literally, if you want a entire max account, it's literally going to cost you like it's literally going to cost you like $120,000 if you want a max account, and that's even that might even be less. It might even be more than that. And again, I'm not even joking. I'm being serious, right? It's going to cost you 120 plus $1,000 if you want a complete max account on that game. And there's literally people out there paying that for this. Like again, I'm not even kidding. There's people out there literally paying that amount of money for this. Same thing with Clash of Kings. I've seen people literally drop $250,000 on that game. Because that's a game that you literally like there is no cap, right? You can continue to progress, continue to build, continue all that if you put in that money. Right. So there's literally people out here that are spending, like a luxury car amount of money on some of these games. That's pretty bizarre. That's crazy to me. Like who the hell out here has that type of money to waste on a virtual game? Like shit, I don't mind, $10, $20 here. Because I spent a few $100s on games before. I'm not gonna lie. I spent a few $100s on games throughout the last decade. But shit, what is a few $100s compared to $250,000? You know what I'm saying? So it's doesn't compare. Brothers say been playing a new boxing game. I haven't heard of that one, man. Oh, I hear you. I hear you, bro. Said boxing, UFC on Saturdays. Usually my escape to chill from the true study. Yeah, man. And we all need that time to relax. We all need that special time, special time to ourselves. Guys get it, different ways where everybody has their own habits. Hell, some people like to read just to relax. Other guys watch TV, other dudes play games. Hell, some guys go for a walk, some guys go to the gym. Everybody finds different things to be relaxing. No, but it's always needed once in a while. Let me see. Here's a fun fact for y'all though. Did y'all know that YouTube has been out for just about 20 years? And the release date for YouTube was what was it? February 14th, 2005 was the release date. Yeah, so this year on a February 14th, YouTube has been out for 20 years. That it's pretty weird. Another fun fact, Facebook as well been out for 20 years recently. I don't know the day that came out. You'd have to look it up, but yeah, Facebook's been out for 20 years now. There for a second. But yeah, it's just see. Yeah, YouTube actually started off as a dating website, right? If you watch the videos about like the history of YouTube, YouTube was officially like a dating website. They could like girls could post, video of themselves here, and try to, get a date or whatever. But then they scrapped the idea, right? And then they just decided to do like a video sharing website, and that's how it became what we know it as today. And people often ask me, like, you cheat, like, why don't you go on like BitChute, Rumble or Odyssey or, Instagram, some of these other websites. And, my response to that is, I haven't totally thrown that away. I'll consider it in the future, but I stay on YouTube primarily because, first of all, I grew up with the platform. I know like the ins and outs of it, and this is really all I know, right? You know what I'm saying? So this is what I watch. Like I don't watch TV, right? I own a TV. I only own it to watch YouTube and play games. Hell, I haven't turned on a TV show to watch just a regular, television show in like 9, 10 years now, right? 9 or 10 years. I haven't turned on a TV to watch just a regular television show for myself, with the exception of the once in a while occasional stay at a hotel, because there usually the phone service is bad and you get a TV in the room. But that's like the only exception, so I don't count that. But I'm talking about like at home. I never turned the TV on to watch anything for myself in like the last 9 years. Just not into that. Cable television is dead. Hell, everybody. First of all, nobody has the attention span to watch a movie or a TV show anymore. And everybody got that 30-second attention span, now due to, these shorts now, right? Due to TikTok and whatever. Nobody seems to have a decent attention span anymore. Shit, I don't even know how these, theaters out here stay open, man. Yeah, first of all, especially through the Corolla, and then now through, these online streaming services. Shit, you know what I find funny? For those of you who know what a red box is, basically, if you don't know, it's like like literally a red box that's usually outside of a Walgreens or CVS or Publix, and you can go and rent movies from it, and then rent it for like 2 or 3 days, and then you bring it back in the machine, and then you can rent more. I thought all these went out of business like a couple years ago due to the increase in like online streaming and whatnot, right? But literally today, I just seen one. I was at a Walgreens, and outside of it, they had a red box there. I was like, damn, I thought those dudes just moved on from the DVD red box version to just like branding out, because I see sometimes they like have like trash bins that are red box. They call it red box plus, right? Like they expanded their business past just the red box movie thing, right? So I thought they just expanded to that completely. I didn't know they still had like physical red box locations, still around. Now that died out a couple of years ago, but apparently it hasn't. But they don't got much longer left, due to the increase in streaming. And then, second of all, people don't want to watch movies much anymore. Shit, the last movie I watched was Gladiator, which actually I just watched it maybe 4 weeks ago. Good movie, which I've seen they're coming out with a second one, right? They're coming out with a second movie. I believe it comes out in September or December. So I'm gonna have to check that one out. But yeah, that's the last movie I've seen, as far as I remember. Let me see. Brother said, "Facts, bro. Haven't owned a cable in a long time." Yeah, man. It's again, cable television is a thing of the past. That's like hell, the generation before me, they like that. They grew up with that, and that's what they watched. You know what I'm saying? But now, guys like me, right, Generation Z, we grew up with YouTube and the internet. Who the hell cares about TV? Nobody needs TV anymore. And shit, you know what? The cable television is like what, $80 a month, depending on what service you get. So shit, you don't need both internet and cable. It's like realistically, just cut the cable bill out completely. And if you do want to watch a movie, you can just hook the TV up to the internet and just get a streaming service for like $10 a month and watch movies on that. You know what I'm saying? Like you can get Hulu, Netflix, HBO Max, Disney Plus. You can pick what one you want, but there's a lot of good options. You just got to pay like $10 a month for it. So who the hell needs the 60 or $80 internet? I mean, cable bill. Hell, I don't need that. Brother said I still watch stuff on Netflix, but man, hard to find a non woke, non degenerate movie. LOL. Yeah, man, I got Netflix too. I haven't watched it in a couple weeks, but yeah, there's some good stuff on there. One thing I did literally binge watch in like 2 days. I watched the real life version of Squid Game. Like I'm not talking about like the Korean movie. I'm talking about like Netflix did like their own original, like a real life series, right? I believe if you watch it in its entirety, I believe it's like about 8 hours long, right? It's about 8 hours long if you watch every episode back to back. So I did over the course of 2 days. Pretty interesting, and it was actually pretty good. I recommend checking that out. Surprising end though, I gotta say, but it was a pretty decent watch. Galapagos said, "Dude, people can't even read a book these days." Yeah, man. That's You know what I find surprising though, right? Even though I know it's a fact that the average American does not even read one book a year, what I do find odd is earlier I was at the dollar store and right next to it there's a Books a Million. And I kid you not, there was literally like I seen like 30 people walk into the Books a Million at the same time. I was thinking to myself, like, what the hell is going on here that all these people are walking in? I thought it's like, shit, there gotta be like some type of like fan club meetup or something, right? Because let me tell you a little story. When I was back in Florida, we had like you can look this up, it was called Posner Park. Shit, I can give the name because I don't live there no more, right? But there was a place called Posner Park. Um, not too far of a drive from where I was at. And it's like a strip mall there. We got movie theaters, dollar store, a bar, haircut place, place to eat, stuff like that. Target, the hell, now they got like apartments down there and whatnot. But the reason I bring it up is I went to the Books a Million there, and this one night as I was there, looking for a new book, there was literally a UFO fan club meetup, right? So the people started showing up to talk about UFOs, and they were talking. I didn't get involved with it, but I was listening in the background as I'm looking at the books, right? And these people are there gathering to talk about, oh, well, the evidence is overwhelming that we're being visited by outside forces. They literally had like a whole damn you know presentation there with them, like the like slides, but like literally had like physical pictures there to show, right? And there was like maybe 20 people, 25 people that showed up for this thing. I was like, shit, they're letting the damn UFO club meet up at Books a Million. I thought these guys were just into like Yu-Gi-Oh and Pokemon cards and Dungeons and Dragons and stuff like that, card games, you know what I'm saying? I know they do that types of meetups there, but shit, they let UFO club happen there. It's like shit. I guarantee they wouldn't let Hebrew Israelite Club happen there. Like shit. Imagine if the ISUPK tried to do a class there. Shit, they'd do get kicked out in like 15 minutes. But they'll let the UFO dudes do it there, right? Yeah, yeah. I hear what you're saying, man. I hear what you're saying. Let me see. All right, well, we have hit the 2 hour mark here, so I think I'm gonna start to wrap this up. Brother said should have gave him the GMS UFO breakdown. I mean, hell, I could have, man, but uh, I didn't have the time to do that there. But shit, if I get the opportunity again, I probably will. But yeah, I think you're gonna call that the stream there because we're over 2 hours now. If anybody's watching after the stream, put hashtag. Let's see. Let's say hashtag Spin. We'll give DJ Spin a little shout out since he tuned in later today. So if anybody made it to the end of the stream, hashtag Spin in the comments. And I'm gonna wrap the stream up with that. Thanks for stopping by, everybody.